In this video, if you've ever taken a road trip with your kids or your grandkids, then you're going to probably want to check this one out, because this is the very first review of our road trip with our new 2023 Toyota Sienna. It went well, and there's a lot to share with you. You get an idea of the depth of the compartment here, which is actually super cool. We've only folded down these seats like I think once or twice, so tomorrow's our first day, but I want you to see that first. So really excellent depth. Just had a 40-pound bag of birdseed in there. Okay, so now with the folded down, because there's actually two seats, one single seat, a double seat, and definitely has, that's lot more room than we ever had in our other vehicle, or our SUV. One thing I definitely wanted to note for this video was how far forward the tracks are. The seats can move forward so far, and you still have quite a bit of access space for like road trip stuff. Okay, so here's how it starts. Once we got this down, the clear bins will be a savior for you for any other road trips. The bottom bin is strictly all tech stuff. I can't believe how much tech stuff. I had to look around a little bit for the USB connector. That's a sweet spot to figure that one out. Wanted to share the mileage for the first fill up yesterday. 404 miles. We're just below. Took 14 gallons of fuel. Worked out great. Having the clear bins up front where we really don't need them right now. But if you're on a really long trip, keep your stuff that you need access to nightly in the very back, of course. Shocked at how much space we've got, and we got a huge gap up there still. The first thing I want to talk about with our review of our three top things, good, better, best, is definitely the space. We probably gained, I'm going to guesstimate, probably at least 25, maybe 30% storage in the BatMobile compared to our former SUV, which again, as I said before, was a really great vehicle, but we just needed more space. And the Sienna, the 2023 Sienna BatMobile, absolutely awesome. 160 miles in. We're at Michigan City. We stop at Jimmy John's for our sandwiches every time, there and back, and give a plug to Jimmy John's and show you a photo here in a second. But the driver assist safety, I'll talk about those more when we get to Wisconsin after the whole trip. Okay, 435 miles. If this is any indicator of our continuing road trips, because we tried to figure it out, and it was over the 10 years we've been doing this, probably in the over 100 trips from mid-Michigan to northeast Wisconsin. It's 435 miles. It was a great drive. I mean, the thing that I loved most about the vehicle is that it's customizable, and we haven't even scratched the surface with some of the things that we're going to do with the customizable. So it's programmable. Everything's programmable. The driver assist, the safety, and the radar, the sensors, forward radar, figured that out really quickly, and that on the cruise control, unbelievable. Great for the road trip, coming around Chicago, driving around the big lake, going through Chicago. Believe me, you go through some bullcrap in 94 in Michigan. You go through Chicago, all that. You go through Milwaukee with all that, and then we're here. And so, it really went well, and I'm just thrilled with it. And I don't feel fatigued at all. So it was a joy. It was fun to drive, really fun to drive. This was really my first road trip. So first road trip with the BatMobile. I'll give it a double thumbs up. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go with phase 2 of our first trip with the Sienna to Wisconsin. Now we're packing up and getting ready to go to Rhinelander, Wisconsin, which is apparently 3 hours north. Never been there. I wanted to show you some of the stuff that I like to lay everything out so I can see it, then I can pack it. And get everything strategically placed. I'll get you some pictures here of the kids in a second. But there's one other thing I wanted to show everybody, so stick around. I'll be right back. Okay, one thing you definitely want to be aware of. You want to get an extra long, if you're going to do the windshield mount or phone holder or your new Sienna, get the long one. Works great, but you got to get the long one because you got that really sloped windshield, which is actually really great. I want to make sure you guys knew that. Into half of this very first road trip involved like the second phase of the road trip with the softball tournament and taking the grandkids on this long road trip way north Wisconsin, December time. Convenience is huge, and our granddaughter Harper, she gets a little motion sick, and so the pull down shades on the side of the windows, the space for the seats for those two captain's chairs for those two kids, because she's 9 and her brother is 7. If you ever travel with kids, you know what I'm talking about. The pull down shades really helped her a lot with the motion, and so they could rest. That worked out great. 18 cup holders. There's so many conveniences that are in this vehicle. It's I'm not going to do it justice in this video, but let me say this, that having the space, the comfort, and the conveniences of just a few little things that we're still discovering is massively important. And so traveling with kids, as many of you do, this vehicle is the way to go. Comfort and convenience. 18 cup holders. .1.5 miles northwest of Rhinelander is Minocqua, Wisconsin. We stayed at a resort called The Waters, which is a beautiful, fantastic spot. You will love it. Can't wait to go back to Minocqua and that whole area. There's lakes everywhere. There's so much water. It's unbelievable. But the kids had a great time in the water park. Very well maintained. Absolutely beautiful. Can't say enough about it. The staff was excellent, and we had a blast. The kids had a riot, and it's always good to let the kids just tear it up in the water park. Surrogate parenting, you know it. You know the deal. At the Hodag Dome, Rhinelander. If you ever get a chance to go to Rhinelander, Wisconsin for an event at the Hodag Dome, stop at the Dinky Diner and say hi to Dr. Rick and his wife Terry, the owners of the Dinky Diner. It's a beautiful, awesome spot. Great food. You'll love it. Okay, recap of our first road trip with the new Sienna, the BatMobile. Unbelievable. I'll have a lot more to say about the safety issues, but one thing I can say is I feel a lot less fatigued. I love the safety, but that was about 1,600 miles in about 8-9 days, including a softball tournament way up north Wisconsin. There's just so many good things to say. I can't even process it all right. Both trips there and back, and then up to north Wisconsin through the snow and through everything else. Vehicle's fantastic and worked out great. So I'll have a little bit more updates on this. I just wanted to make sure I got this recorded as we pull in the garage. Thanks for watching. For any of you that are out there that have grandchildren, you know that the most important thing in the world is their safety, and of course ours. And so I think my number three review for this review, the very first trip that we took with the BatMobile, the Sienna, it has to do with all of the drive assist variables that go into helping me become a better driver. And I'm not going to go into a deep dive of that right now because we're going to be doing a much longer trip here in another month. We're going to Arizona, and we're going to drive from Michigan to Arizona, and I'm going to document the whole thing. But let me tell you right now, being safe, becoming a better driver, driving on inclement roads, making this road trip with the grandkids, driving over to Wisconsin, which we do quite often, as I've said, is it's making me a better driver, and I just feel more confident, and I didn't feel as fatigued. And that was another thing that was really I want to express to everybody, that the new features, the safety features, which I'll go into the app stuff because Sandy's got an app on her phone that is just freaking amazing. I mean, I haven't even got into that yet. There's so many features. It's like driving a computer on wheels, basically, and it makes you a better driver. It gives you better mileage, gives you more space, gives you more conveniences. It's a win-win-win all the way around. So next review will be coming here very soon with the road trip to Arizona. We're going to Scottsdale and we're going to document the whole thing, and it's going to be a blast. So thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks everybody. Peace out.